And benvenuti, fellas and bellas all over the world. Welcome to another episode of the Napoli Rant. I am Raff Bizz, joined by my co-host, the Vicar of Vesuvius, Rafa Rispos.
What's up, Raff Bizzarro? Come stai?
Tutto a posto. Hello to you, sir, and hello to everybody in the chat as well as our audio listeners. Let's get this rant on the road, but before we do, please show your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel and be sure to give this episode a like. Yes, do it now. Raff, we'll give everybody 5 seconds. We're pretty on time today, so we have time to give, right?
We're on time. Yeah,
like,
5 minutes late is on time.
Couple likes,
right? I mean,
couple likes. We got about 6 people in here right now. So
couple likes.
We want 6 likes, all right?
Let's get the likes in,
All right.
Why not?
Quentin, first one in the house to comment. Smash that like button, please. Yes, as well as all the replay guys, man. Show your support. We're getting close. We're growing bigger on Twitter. We're almost at 500 on YouTube. We'll love to be 1,000 by the end of the year, and only you can do that. But guys, great show today. Napoli again on this high horse, on this win streak. They beat Sassuolo 2-0. We'll talk about that. We'll give our beast of the match today. It's going to be a special beast, guys. You're going to want to stick around for this. Right after that, we're going to have our main rant. Me and Rafa wanted to talk about, because we saw this discussion going around online about the top front three or the top scorer or the top striker. So we wanted to pick our ADL era top three front line. Now, it doesn't have to be the three that played with each other at a certain era. It could be anyone in the ADL era. You could pick any guy and any combination. And what's your favorite three? Why did you pick them? What makes you pick them? We want to know. So hit us up in the comments, and we're going to talk to everybody in the live chat. And me and Rafa are going to give you ours. And it was cool because Rafa picked this three. I picked this three. We spoke about it. And it turns out 2 out of the 3 that we chose were the same. So we're going to talk about those 2 guys. And then the third guy, me and Rafa differ a little bit there, and we'll get into why we picked that. And then we'll close the episode with tomorrow's Champions League prediction. Champions League is back. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for this one, man. Cannot wait for this one, especially us flying so high. But let's start off with Napoli. Sassuolo, the aftermath, Rafa. I mean, the fireworks started right from the beginning. I mean, we get a goal, beautiful goal nonetheless, in the 12th minute by Cavada. I mean, starts off with like what I thought looked like Raff. It almost looked like Oliveira was like a failed pass to Anguissa or something. That's what it looked like. It looked like he didn't have enough mustard on the pass, but Cavada was able to recognize it. That's my guess. That's my conspiracy. I'm just going to stick with it. Cavada is able to get the ball, a little flick to himself, runs at the defender. He's running at what's his name? He's running at Ehrlich, and what's the other guy? I'm terrible when it's looking. No, the other was Zortea. Kind of like looking at him. They're running with him, and then you see Oliveira, and I want to talk about this. Not Oliveira. You see Osimhen kind of pulling away Tresoldi at that point, opening up a little gap centrally. Cavada is able to notice that, takes the ball there, and then nutmegs Ehrlich for the goal. Wow. I mean,
what skill. Perfect. Amazing footwork, movement. You could tell that the defense is doesn't know what to do with him because they don't know what he's going to pull off, and then he just gives us like the slightest little touch past the keeper, getting through all that, traffic in the defense. And I guess Oliveira was awarded with the assist, which was pretty good to see too. Cavada makes it 1-0. That's 9 goals on the season for him now. And
10 assists. He's close to the
assists,
double. Or is it 10 and 9? Is it 10 and 9?
Is it 10 and 9? Let's see. It's 10 goals, 9 assists. Yeah,
right.
10 goals, 9 assists in Serie A.
Right.
And it just, he's been such a revelation. It's hard to believe that and I wouldn't blame anybody for putting him in their top 3 of all time, and it's only been just over half a season. Just a smart play by him. He's got Osimhen in the center, but took the shot on his own, and it worked out for us 1-0 in the 12th, right?
Yeah, I mean, to me, Cavada, this game looked super comfortable out there. Like, he was very confident. You can see it. You can see his movement on the field. You can see his vision is there. He had his eye on everything. He was patient with the ball when he needed to be, and it was good to, because we complain sometimes that Cavada would just lose the ball, especially when he's getting double teamed. We didn't see this that time. He had better control, and he was able to give the ball up when he knew he just couldn't move forward. Just push the ball back to Oliveira, give the ball back to Lobotka. They'll help you move forward, and you saw that. But his individual performance for this game was, I mean, and we'll talk about it. It's not just the goals, was some of the passes that he made, his effort in stealing balls. You know, soon after in the game, in the 25th minute, we're going to see Rahmani with a nice long ball to Osimhen, which was kind of like what was it? What was the word, Rafa? The not premeditated. The what's, you know, in a book when you read and some, you know,
no,
this bit
I'm lost.
really good because I had the word. Now I lost the word, and it's not going to sound as good, and I can't be like as cool.
You're not quick with what you're trying to say. It's okay. Don't worry about it. What you're, I think you're referring to is the overhead goal, the overhead pass from the anticipation, right? So Rahmani passed it over Osimhen and Tresoldi's head, right? Was it Tresoldi who jumped up to try to get?
It was Tresoldi who missed the ball.
He missed the ball, but you see Osimhen read him like a book. There you go.
Right.
He really just like saw the ball go over, you know, Tresoldi's head before it happened. And I guess Napoli Club Toronto is in here saying foreshadowing, Peter too. Foreshadowing.
That's
it.
Thank you. My head was starting to hurt. I didn't know I was going to go on
all right.
the show. I was like, what's the word?
Thank you, guys.
What's the word?
So Osimhen foreshadowed the play. And
the next play, which happened about 7 minutes later. By the way, hashtag Legna Napoli for that pass.
Yes.
That Osimhen missed after he jukes Elic and hits the post on a left-footed shot. But yeah, 7 minutes later, again, Rahmani recognizing the high press, something that, by the way, Joe Fischetti called out in his last podcast. Definitely check it out. You know, recognizing that high press and is able to get the ball over the midfield. And once again, Victor Osimhen, I mean, where did you know, we spoke about like in the past about, man, if this guy really works on his strength, what he's able to do. And we see him taking on both center backs. I mean, being mauled, Rafa. We said it right in the, you know, in the studio before we started. I mean, getting mauled by the center backs. Tresoldi practically holding his wrist and his arm. He's able to go all the way to the touchline again and sneak a shot like that they were comparing to Careca years ago. Past Cassidy. I mean,
you saw. I retweeted it. It was unbelievably uncanny. Like like it's like you've seen the videos where Messi would emulate Maradona, right? He scored a goal with his hand once. He ran the field once. He does have. There are videos out there of Messi, you know, recreating Maradona's magic. This was Osimhen recreating Careca's magic. Only, in my opinion, it was much better because he had two beastly defenders mugging him at the same time, and he had to overcome that as well. So not only did he overcome the defense that was really tight on him, but he took the ball as he was fighting with these guys, and took the ball down the corner and shot it the way he did, near post. Keeper didn't even know it was coming. I think it was better than Careca's goal because of the fact that when Careca scored it, he didn't really have much pressure on him. He got away from his defender, which was really smart too.
Sure.
Right. But my goodness, Osimhen, I mean, for his 18th goal of the season in Serie A.
He's on fire.
Forget the Marcus Rashfords and forget the Ben Yedders. It's Victor Osimhen who's the top striker in Europe. I don't care who says what about it. They can all come fight me about it. It's Osimhen.
Come fight me, bro. 100%. I got you, Rafa. I'll help you out. Yeah. No, definitely. And again, just seeing this toughness, he's been doing all season. We saw it at Roma. We saw it a few times. I mean, his strength is there now. We asked for it. Guess what, guys? It's here, and he's using it to score goals. Again, another brilliant play later, just a few minutes later by Cavada, where he steals the ball again for Zatea. Just a nightmare for this guy. I mean, the back line hates Osimhen and Cavada right now because of what they did in this game. But again, steals the ball, which leads to this beautiful cross to Victor, which Victor heads the ball, misses, but still. I mean, how this team didn't score 4 or 5 goals is just crazy to me. Sassuolo,
how Victor didn't have a hat trick is crazy to me, right?
Right. Napoli Club Toronto said game could have easily been 4-5-2. We got a lucky on a few of their chances. Yes, that's true, but the rest of the chances in the second half of Sassuolo really weren't that much quality. So either way, we should have scored more. But this link up between these two guys, it's like it's almost like they're out there. Somebody said it's like a video game. It's like they're out there almost having fun now. And I love to see it. They're so happy for each other. They get to the sidelines after the goals. They give each other big hugs, lots of props. And it's not the last time that Cavada sees Osimhen. We did get a goal, that was called off by Sassuolo in the 41st minute. We saw, I think it was Defrel who was standing there but interferes with Oliveira in the offside position for Loriente. I know some guys in the chat been calling him, been giving him props, saying get him on our team, sell Politano, Lozano, get Loriente. So
yeah,
why not? I guess not. I mean, he did score what could have been a nice goal. It was a great strike past Meret, but all in all, it was offsides. Gets called back. We're going to see more offsides later go against us, but that was, for me, the biggest chance. That and maybe one before with Defrel was the biggest chance for Sassuolo came in the first half. After that, I didn't see much. Their shots was easily handled by Meret. So
there wasn't much. There really wasn't much from them after the first couple of minutes, the first 15, 20 minutes. But Napoli, again, they take care of business. They do what they have to do. And then we're looking at what, the second half now, right? We're going into
we're at the second half. It closes. There wasn't much going on. We saw something in the 49th minute. Sassuolo lose the ball. Cavada picks it up again. Quick pass towards the middle to Osimhen, which Osimhen again kind of tried to chip it over the goaltender, but it went wide. He was a little pissed. Even Spalletti on the sidelines was holding his head a little bit after that miss. But again, the link up, the vision, that knowing that they're there and having the confidence to trust each other, they're just making each other's day out there, Rafa.
Yeah, they are. It's great to see the cohesion, is really tight. It's really working. A little frustrated at Osimhen not being able to get a few more goals. I thought he deserved a few more, but even in that, time where, we're missing a few key chances, we're already up 2-0. And it seems like the game is away, is put away. But the Sassuolo in the past, we would have had to worry because we've been up 2-0 to them before last season at the Mapei, and they came back and scored 2 goals and tied it up. I believe they had a third disallowed. We could have lost that game, but this is a different season. Obviously, we're playing much different style, a much different pace, a much different attitude, we've got our full steam ahead, right?
No, I mean, it's like, what's going to stop us now? I know we have probably a few challenges in the near future. We got Champions League squeezed into a few games with, I believe, Spezia.
Empoli. It's Empoli, Lazio, and Atalanta. There might be one more in there. I don't know if there's one more in there, but Empoli away,
Milan,
Lazio, and Atalanta. No, Milan's in
the
April,
5th game in April, right?
Milan is April 2nd or something like that. Yeah, there's a club meet for that game. That's April 2nd.
Antonio says, I think away at Empoli will be the tell and get us over from years past. Sure. Kind of getting over those old ghosts, man. But I'm confident this year that we can do anything. So, Felix Peters, hey, good morning, guys. Watching from Nigeria, West Africa, Forza Napoli, sempre. Thank you, Felix. I believe you were here in the past. So I believe it's 4 a.m. over there, if I'm
think
not
it's
mistaken,
4.
Peter. Man,
Yeah.
dedication. I absolutely love this, man. Hey, man, go check out our boys Napoli Club, Nigeria. Our boy Victor in there on Twitter. Go check them out, Felix. All right, man. They have been growing tremendous, guys. Thank you for the support. Victor's so happy about it. I believe like he just got 200 new followers in like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And he told me that
days,
he's overwhelmed in notification. He's like, wow, now I know how all these famous players feel. You know, he's getting notification after notification. He's like, it's overwhelming,
awesome.
man, but he is super happy about it because he wants everybody to know that he's out there. So yeah, I mean, that was the game. And we did have that offside call by, again, it was like, it was a Lozano cross. He had his, elbow hair or whatever. It was offside. The supercomputer Terminator technology found it.
His Weenus was offside. the Weenus.
Is that what that is?
The elbow skin. Yeah, the Weenus. Yeah.
Gross. So never heard it like that before. Has your Weenus been offside lately? Well, let's check it out on VAR. But that's right, Peter Scala. Skynet controls VAR now, and Lozano was offside by a Weenus. All right, which disallowed Simeone
checking possible Weenus offside.
Imagine Patrick Kennedy going, it was offside by a Weenus.
And I believe his Weenus was off just by a millimeter.
Just dropped his shoulder and his Weenus popped out. Sorry, Pat. We love you. We're just teasing.
Patrick Kendrick actually messaged me earlier today and showed me a video of him calling Kvaratskhelia by a new nickname, the Georgian George Best.
The Georgian
George Best, yeah, the former the old English player who
right.
I think he won the World Cup with England. But he's calling him the Georgian George Best because he kind of looks and moves like George Best, which is fun. Because then I responded with, the best Georgian gets the best nickname. It's pretty cool. So there he is, Georgia's own.
Georgia's own. The country, not
the country, yeah.
Not the state with the city.
Yeah. George Better. Dan Ruggiero, George Better. That's good.
George Better. There you go.
With an asterisk.
Love it. But but that caused the offside with the Simeone offside goal, which goes to show you again in 5 minutes what Simeone can do.
Bro, that's the thing. So someone asked me, moving like what if Osimhen got injured for the season? What's your outlook? First of all, we're 15 points lead, right? That Sassuolo game had us at 18. Inter had to win. We're a 15-point lead right now. Nothing is really deterring me from this season. I think it's going to happen no matter what, even if Osimhen were to, knock on wood, pick up some sort of an injury. And I told him no, because we have Giovanni Simeone, and then Raspadori is going to be better in a few games. I'm not worried about that. If he comes up with some sort of an injury or knock and keeps him out for a little bit, we have Giovanni Simeone who will score goals. He can. Right. Like you said, it just shows he comes in 5 minutes and he puts the ball in the back of the net. Okay, this time it was called offside, but he's done this time and time again this season.
Right.
He's been called upon. And hold on, my cat is climbing up my dresser. He's about to drop the whole thing.
Imagine.
Get out of here, you freaking gatta.
Get out of here, you.
Samana gatta nera, you.
No, the last thing we want to see is Victor get hurt, especially with Raspadori out now, and the Champions League coming up tomorrow. I don't know, man. I think we could have done without Victor Osimhen from 70th, 75th minute. I would have liked to see Simeone come in a little bit earlier.
I agree.
Take out the pony. He's good. He did his job. Nothing left to prove. But whatever. He was fine.
He was sort of limping off. Yeah, like you said, he's fine. I think he even confirmed it on Twitter. I think someone asked him if he was okay. I think it was a fellow Nigerian, and he said, yeah, he said something about Osimhen coming off, not looking good, and he goes, no, I'm fine. Listen, you cramp up, you get tired, It happens. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right in that Spalletti needs to kind of manage a little more better some time, but I think he rotated well. Like touching on what we had talked about last week. It wasn't as healthy as a rotation as I thought it would be, but it was enough to, rest a few key players, Mario Rui, Lozano, and, the bench came in, Zielinski, and the bench did their job. And I think we're ready for this Tuesday, I think, or tomorrow, today, if you're watching tomorrow, today, if you're watching on Tuesday or listening.
Today, right. So that's that, guys. Beast of the match. Let's get it in the chat. We're going to talk about this one because it was a very special decision by me and Rafa. So I want to give everybody time to maybe choose theirs. We're going to show you ours. It's going to be a big surprise. While you do that, I'm waiting. I'll answer real quick, Carmelo, your question that was off topic about baseball and Moneyball. And if it's right here, I'll put it up real quick. But I don't want to spend. We're on a strict time today, so I'll just say real quick. Does ADL follow Moneyball? Maybe it's like the cousin. The cousin to Moneyball.
I think so. I haven't seen Moneyball yet either, but I know the concept of the movie. I know the concept of what happened with the story.
Right.
And actually, it's funny that Carmelo mentions this because I'm explaining Napoli and the history of Napoli, like before the game, to a client of mine who is trying to learn about it. So what's so special about this Napoli team? And I told him the whole story and the whole history, and he said, you ever see Moneyball? And I said, I haven't, but I know the story. And he goes, yeah, watch the movie. It's great. But he goes, it's exactly what I'm listening to you say. It's winning with, pinching the pennies at first, struggling a little bit, taking these embarrassing, balance book scudetti, right? And then look at it's going to pay off, right? Look how it's going to pay off. Napoli are a force in Europe. They're going to win this Scudetto. And, if they play their cards right, they could win a few more coming up, and Moneyball. I mean, Dan Rogers' Moneyball doesn't even work in baseball, but it's happening. It's happening here, and a very good comparison.
All right, guys, beast of the match. We got a few of Vincenzo said the beast of the match were the away fans. Yes, they were our honorary beast. With the away fans.
It sounded like a home game.
They really turned that place right. They turned that place into started. Dan Debo was there. Shout out to him.
Debo was there. Yep.
And the work he's doing with the Napoli Nation TV with his son Mario. Check them out.
Cool
he was
shot.
there. He shows he has a lot of great shorts, so check those out. But guys, beast of the match. Here we are. Bump on. Surprise.
Surprise, mother trucker.
It is the double trouble edition for match day 23, guys. Yes, beast of the match. Victor Osimhen and Kvara. Guys, I here's the deal. Like, I couldn't. Funny enough, they didn't give each other assists in this game. So neither of them assisted each other like they did in the previous games. But we saw the chances created by both of them. With Kvara maybe should have having at least 2 assists to Osimhen. But I couldn't go another day with beast of the match without recognizing this dynamic duo
tandem. Yes,
right, and the double trouble they are creating for the opposition. I mean, absolute beasts this match at both of them. I mean, I got my nod for Rachmani, I got a nod for Lobo, but these two, we had to acknowledge it, Rafa. I had to acknowledge it. I couldn't go another game because I'm not sure what's going to happen from here on out. But what everybody needs to know is that these two are on fire. They have been beasting it since the return, and this double trouble edition, well earned, Rafa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better than me, man. You've got 28 goals between the two, and what is it? 12 assists in Serie A, right? I think each of them have played 19 matches. It's just such a great thing to see, and they look like they get along. You know what I mean? Like like when Kvaratskhelia scored, Osimhen was just so elated for him, and vice versa. I feel like Kvaratskhelia, when he loves to put in the pass. Like I think Kvaratskhelia has learned a lot since the beginning of the season, where we were talking about him holding onto the ball a little too long, and now he's an assist machine, right? He's trying to pass, he's trying to look for the extra pass, he's trying to gain, create some space for Osimhen, and it's working, man. It's working. Kvara actually got man of the match by FootMob with an 8.7 rating, but Osimhen wasn't too far behind with an 8.3. And those were the two highest rated. No, I'm sorry, Oliveira actually had an 8.4. That's a little surprising. He did have an assist. Shouting out to everybody else too. Lozano comes in, and like you said, is an eyelash offside, but provides amazing service to Simeone. Shout out to the defense and tip of the cap for 3 straight hat tricks for the defense and Meret. It's just
shutouts.
It's a good,
not hat tricks, right? You said hat tricks.
What did I say? 3 straight hat tricks.
Okay.
I meant to say a hat trick of shutouts.
A hat trick of shutouts. Got you.
For the defense. That's what I meant to say. No, it's not 3 straight hat tricks, is it? That would be cool. That would be really cool.
That would be awesome.
That deserves Beast of the Quarter.
Beast of really, yeah. Like here, you win defense. There you go.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, when you had mentioned to me, let's screw it, let's do both Osimhen and Kvara. I think even recognizing the tandem before we go into the Champions League is the right thing for us to do, because everybody's talking about all these, Mbappe and Neymar, Rashford and whoever, Haaland and whoever there too, Foden, I think.
Yeah.
None of them can really measure up, I think, to Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia right now. He's so sought out for. I don't know if you saw, but really quick, Decibel Bellini went to the Arsenal Manchester game in London, and when he gave his ticket and had to show an ID, the guy said, "Oh, Napoli, huh? Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Kvaratskhelia. He's my favorite player right now." The guy taking the the tickets and the IDs, which I thought was really cool. Like Napoli really are on the world's eyes right now, and it's thanks in most part to these two here. And like I said, they just look like they get along, man. It's
like
it's a duo. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. And also sort of like how Lozano and Osimhen get along. I could tell that they have some sort of a friendship too. So this is a good. It's such a good feeling, right, to have everybody on board together. Beasts plural of the match.
Double Trouble edition. Congratulations. Ooh. So, yeah, man. Super happy for these guys. Super happy for Napoli. We're on a roll. Tomorrow's going to be champions. But we wanted to get this rant out because we saw a lot of people talking about it online. I'm not sure if Miguel is in here. It's Montese. I wish he was, because he was the one that kind of inspired. Well, Raff, I think you were the one. But Miguel was about it. I was like, we should do it. Miguel was just bringing it.
Yeah, I there was a graphic going around. I showed you this graphic. My cousin and I were talking about it, and it was who was Napoli's all-time front three, right? And we're talking all-time. So, a lot of deliberation, and my cousin saying, well, if somebody doesn't have Maradona there, they're crazy. This and that. You have to have Maradona. So everybody should be Maradona and 2 more. So we took it another step, and it's weird because we took it this step to honor the great president Aurelio De Laurentiis on President's Day.
Yes.
Happy President's Day.
Happy
Hashtag my president.
President.
And go with the ADL era only. So you have to pick a trident from the ADL era. It could be any trident. It could be they could have played together. They didn't have to play together. What have you? Any 3 up top. And coincidentally enough, a couple of days ago, Matteo Bonetti sent us a tweet that he had sent out. He DM'd us a tweet of his. And it was a thread. It was Napoli's incredible attacking units, and every every triad from 10-11 to 21-22 and how many goals that they've scored. And I thought that this was like, okay, this really means we have to do this for the show. So if you want to start, I mean, I know we've got some people coming in already giving theirs.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna put them out in a moment, but we're gonna talk about ours real quick. So again, me and Rafa, we chose again blindly. We didn't. It was like no hints. We said, this is my three. This is my three. And it turns out that 2 to 3 were the same. So we're gonna talk about those two guys first, and then the third one was a little different, and we'll talk about why. Now, everybody out there, again, you know, this is one of those debates. It's like, it's the debate that never ends. Like it won't end. I think this is very subjective, to be honest. I mean, you can go by stats, you can go by talent, you can go by lots of things. But I think what I wanted when I want to see the most, what you like me singing
that and Quentin's choice.
Quentin's choice is Kalear, Mascata, and Miku. We'll start with that one. But hey, listen, if this is what made you happy, this is what I want to know. But it made us happy because we're laughing now. So
I think Mascata scored 1 goal and Michu didn't score anything, I think.
But I love it. Napoli club started with Insigne, Cavani, Mertens, Cavani, Lavezzi, Mertens, Cavada, Ozzy, Lavezzi. What's coming? I was always
Lavazza, the coffee, Peter.
The coffee, yeah. Like which one? The orange one is the best one, Peter Scala.
I stopped at a New York State Thruway rest stop with the family once, and I was like, oh look, there's Lavazza. Hey, they sell a Razmataz, and it said Razmataz, and my cousin's like, what do you mean Razmataz? And we started laughing so hard. Hey, Razmataz, why not? It's a Razmataz, right? Just like that was really funny.
Hey, you want a Razmataz?
Hey, you want a Razmataz? No.
Kimbo better. I got one Cafe Bustelo. What's the dude?
Oh, Bustelo is like it's coming back on. Dude, it's coming back around. My dad makes nothing but Bustelo right now.
Rafa, don't call it a comeback. It's been here for years. Cafe Bustelo, bro.
No, dude, I know it has, but I mean, comeback in my household is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. All right.
In the can.
Never left.
We used to have in the can. You make it on the mocha, but now Kimbo Lavazza Bustelo. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I love the Napoli brand sidetracking. Like, because now we're doing top 3 coffees.
Now we're doing top coffees. What's the new coffee? We got rid of Kimbo and we have another coffee. It's not new, but what's the coffee that's there now?
Something like that.
I don't remember what it is. We have it. We're sponsored by another coffee in Naples. I forgot. It started with a C, maybe.
Not Toredo, right? Something like that.
Oh no, that's it. Toredo. Yeah, that's it. It's Toredo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, guys,
never had it.
So we'll start with our first one. We'll add a few points to this, and then we'll move on to the second. But I think we're going to start with the one that's the most recent, and that's number 1 for Raff and Raff's front 3 is Victor Osimhen. Gets the nod, Rafa. You want me to start real quick, Rafa? I'll go on. Then I'll
go ahead. You start. Go ahead.
For me, overall, I mean, first and foremost, I want to look into the future a little bit. That's why we picked the ADL era, and I believe Osimhen is going to be a very important part of Napoli's history, hopefully by the end of the season. Time will tell very shortly, but I have a good feeling that it might happen. And you know, winning a Scudetto in Napoli, it immortalizes you. That's God mode, my dude. I mean, they're putting you in churches, your hair. They're going to have like blonde hair in one of the churches or something. But I think most importantly, though, for Victor, what I liked was his progression. He's quicker. He's so fast on the field. Now he's even faster. He's tougher. All things that we wanted him to do. And he's more mentally sound. And I think this is the most important thing. We saw in the beginning of Victor's tenure, almost this kind of self-destruct mode. And he seemed to have gotten over that. He seemed to have matured. He smiles more. He says, all right. He eats what he has to eat, then he goes back and he tries again. And look at him now. I mean, he can miss 4 weeks in the Campionato and still be the leading goal scorer in Serie A. And he'll probably win the Capocannoniere with the way things are going. God willing, he stays healthy. So for those things alone, you know, for Napoli personally, I think have been great for him as a player. And if I need a striker, I want Victor Osimhen. And part of that was, people spoke about his injuries. Oh, well, he gets injured. Well, he gets mugged is what happened, and he snagged a little leg injury this year, but that never held him back. And he only came back better, and that's very, very hard to see. It's almost like he broke and then he healed and then he strengthened, and now he's even better than he was before the injury. So he can overcome adversity. And similar to like Maradona, where Maradona was just this poor kid in the Argentinian street, Victor was the same. He almost models that, and I think that's what makes him understand Napoli a little bit better. And I think that's why they love him and emulate him. You see these little kids going around like, this is my hero now. And that's part of it. And to me, he's the type of striker that I want on the team, simply for those reasons. He can get better. He is resilient. He is tough. I like his cazzima and his attitude. And I think he's a humble person. And I think those are all great qualities as a man and as a striker, Rafa.
I chose Osimhen because I really like his story. I like his progression. I like his maturity. I like what he has become with this jersey. I like the fact that he embraces the public, and the public is embracing him as a son of Naples, as the Prince of Naples. He wins that Scudetto, he'll be a king. But not only is it that he can score goals, and he's proven this season the doubters wrong, right? He can't score against the big clubs. He can't do it against the big, he can't do the big goals. He can't shoot from outside of this and that. And you just saw an example of probably one of his greatest goals as a Napoli player this past Friday. And he's at 42 goals all time with Napoli, which for Serie A goals, which it only puts him 6 away from tying George Weah for the most prolific African goal scorer in Serie A history. Right. He may very well break that this year. And now let's scratch that. He will break that this season. And he also, in this goal against Sassuolo, has just become the first Napoli player ever to score goal in 7 straight matches. I think beating out, I think it was Careca with 6 straight before him. Might have been Lavezzi. No, I think it was Higuain, actually, 6 straight. I'm sorry, it was Higuain. But anyway, there's one record he broke of Higuain's, and the next one's coming, the 36 goals, right? I feel like he's made such an impact, and the impact has led him to where it's the inevitable is coming. I excluded another member of this current team in my 3 just because I'm going back in history. But what Victor Osimhen is doing right now is leading Napoli to a Scudetto, which has never been done before without Diego Armando Maradona. So for me, that warrants Osimhen now to be in my top 3. My top 3 could change at the end of the season. Maybe we could revisit that, during the off season. But right now he's in there for that reason.
Right. And speaking of adopted son, the second player that me and Rafa Rispos had in common was Dries Mertens. 397 appearances for Napoli in all competitions, 148 goals, 90 assists. I mean, he broke Diego Maradona's record first, I believe. He was first.
No.
He wasn't the first.
Broke it.
It was
first.
Hamsik. Which one
broke it first? Hamsik broke it, then Insigne, I believe, broke it. Hamsik broke it, then Insigne reached it, and then Mertens just kind of smashed it. It might have been the other way around. It might have been Mertens after, and then Insigne. But the point is that he's now the leading scorer of Napoli all time. 148. Where previously Hamsik was at, I think it was 121 or 122 or something like that. So he went well over that mark.
Daniel, thank you for the fact check. I think here Hamsik, then Mertens, then Insigne.
Then Insigne, yes.
Peter reaffirmed as second. Hamsik broke it, then Mertens. I mean that alone can get you in this top 3, surpassing some of the greats, surpassing Maradona. I mean, did you see the goal?
That's an inside thing, isn't that? Yeah.
It's a very inside
I mean, did you see
thing.
that goal against
goal?
Yeah, there was 105 inch projection screen in front of you.
He was off to the side. But anyway, it was tough to see on that angle. But
come on, Ralph. Come on.
Come on. Hey, my boys.
What's up, Salad? What's
Yo,
going on, bro?
doesn't count. Michele or Gaetano. Tell Michele I literally picked this. We like Raff and I literally did a segment for fucking Michele, so he better be listening. All right.
Yeah, listen up.
And I told him in the Discord, I told him in the messaging. I warned Miguel. I gave you the golden freaking invitation for this show, man. You better be watching. But yeah, I mean, listen, that alone could get you in this top three, just being one of the most prolific goal scorers for Napoli. But on top of that, he was a big reason for earning 91 points for Napoli, despite them not winning the Scudetto, which to me is still absurd, but it happened. He was on that team, and I think he was in the middle of that. I think he was the glue that kind of kept it together. He was the force in the middle that kept a smile on everybody's faces. Maybe right place at the right time, considering what happened to Malik, and they needed Mertens to step up, and he did. Sadi let them express themselves, in my opinion, and I believe Mertens just let it out. He took the Napolitan spirit into him and just put it into the pitch, and we saw some magic calcio by Napoli that year. So I think between that performance and the fact that he named his son Cheeto. I mean, for crying out loud, like literally to honor the city. So to me, like, you don't get any more Napolitan without being Napolitan than Cheeto Mertens. I mean,
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Just
said it best. You said it best. I have nothing to add, Ralph. I have nothing to add. You said it best. Mertens makes my top three any day of the week.
So here we go. Now this is where me and Raff differed. Raff, you want me to go? You want me to do mine first, and then
do yours first? Yeah,
we'll do mine. All right. So here's the deal, guys. For my third, again, now we're kind of moving down the timeline a bit. Again, it just happened to happen this way. For me, was Lavezzi. Lavezzi probably is one of my all-time favorite players for Napoli, let alone in my top three. And part of it was because, well, one, he came at a time where Napoli was on the come up, right? It was shortly after 2006. He comes onto this team from Genoa, and he honestly made me fall in love with Napoli again. I remember I was in Italy. I was at my uncle's house, and we got to watch a game because we couldn't really watch it here at the time. It was a lot more difficult to catch games, but I was able to see it there. And he showed me Lavezzi, and he was and how exciting he was, and how dynamic of a player he was, and it made me fall in love again. And it's like the bug bit me again, and it just started everything for me in Napoli once again, like later into my adult years. And I think Lavezzi was responsible for that. I mean, the Gazzima he brought to the team, and the way he expressed himself, you can tell he was having a good time out there. He was a bit crazy, a bit of a wild card, but you needed that at that time, especially where Napoli was at that time. You needed that attitude to move up. And I remember seeing a documentary, Rafa, once, and the guy said, con Napoli Lavezzi è diventato uomo, però con Lavezzi Napoli è diventato squadra, which translates to with Napoli Lavezzi became a man, but with Lavezzi Napoli became a team. And I couldn't agree more. It was only a 5-year tenure there, but I mean, he was there for the first time. We won the Coppa Italia, when we got to Europa League, when we got the Champions League. I mean, he was a big part of that. We saw some other players, key players at that time as well. We're going to mention one because one of them was Rafa's pick. But for me, oh yeah, and this one I almost forgot. I wrote it down in my notes, but thank you, Pasquale. I'll read. Pasquale Napolitano reminds us Lavezzi punting the ball at Allegri on the sideline is automatic for him joining this list. Yeah,
man,
hilarious.
That was amazing.
And seeing Arana and Grava just step up, ready to brawl, man, that's what he brought out the people. He brought out that grinta from people, man. His firework attitude, man.
I'll never forget.
You couldn't miss
him. No, you couldn't. I'll never forget him getting sent off because of that, and then still kind of lingering in the tunnel, like to see the end of the match, and then Boyacino headed the ball in for 3-3 to tie it up with almost no time left, and he just was cheering so loud in the tunnel, like as he was supposed to be going away because he got a red card.
Right.
And I'll never forget that. Lavezzi is a one-of-a-kind player, all-time great Napoli player, and I do miss him. And I really, he left for PSG, but we talked about off the air, he really paved the way. He started the I think his sale was really instrumental in the beginning of the transformation of what we have now, and in the way ADL does business and in the way we progress from, and move on. And he had great success as PSG as well. So there's nothing to be sad about. Lavezzi was a very accomplished player in his time at Napoli and at PSG as well.
So Rafa, tell us your third.
Well,
you got mine.
Everybody got Ralph Bizz's, right? Here's mine. Speaking of progressing to PSG, my third is Cavani. Now, I picked Osimhen and I picked Mertens. I guess my idea is I'd have Mertens at the number 10 with Cavani and Osimhen as my two strikers. I know it's not conventionally how Napoli play, but this is our world and we're living in it, and this is what we want to do, right? We can mix and match and do whatever we want, right?
Anything you want, guys.
So I cannot have a top 3 forwards list without Edinson Cavani in there. 104 goals for Napoli in 3 seasons in all competitions. Some memorable key goals. He got us back to the Champions League. Some memorable Champions League goals. He scored our first Champions League goal away at Man City. He scored the winner against Man City in Naples. He scored a goal against Chelsea. He just was big. He was big. He scored a penalty in the Coppa Italia final. We beat Juventus with him at the helm. We beat their undefeated season, the first season they won that Scudetto in 11-12, and we won the Coppa Italia on Del Piero's final match for Juventus. And we beat them 2-0, and Cavani was a big part of that. And he just has a very special place in my heart. That was a special time for Napoli fans. It really was. I got to say that, obviously, right now what we're going to experience this season is going to, trump everything that has happened with Napoli since ADL has begun this run. But we had to go through the motions to get there. And Cavani was the first real superstar that we developed, taking him in from Palermo. And he was an instant success, and I'll never forget some of the goals he scored. The one against Lecce, with almost no time left after the goal line clearance from Grava at the Maradona before Christmas. Then there was the hat trick against Juventus that season. There was the hat trick against Lazio that season, that crazy 4-3 game. Just so many goals that I can close my eyes and remember where I was, what I was doing. It's funny because we're such Napoli fans, right? We're so crazy in love with this team that you would think that I could close my eyes and see where I was for any goal before or after that. But honestly, I can literally place myself in most of when Cavani scored. There was this one time that Cavani scored a goal against Parma. I think it was in the last season there. And I remember watching it on my phone while working behind the register at a Denny's. And I remember that. It's crazy. I always supported Cavani even after he left. I was very upset with him when he left. So for a few seasons, I was very, very upset with Cavani.
I was super salty. Rafa.
A lot of people were salty, but
I got called out often because I was used to curse him out. But
but you know what? I think
so sad that he left.
At the immediate time, Ralph, it was kind of warranted. It was justified. And we didn't really understand the workings of ADL yet, did we? You know, like this was the first big sale because he sold Cavani, he sold Lavezzi off.
Lavezzi was really the opener for a big sale.
It was the opener. It was the opener.
Right. We did the feeler with PSG. We got the 30 million because it was the big, and then boom, another one. So we made
73.
Right. A year later, making 90 mil off of PSG, Rafa. So, and then
man,
that Cavani sale, 60 million from him, 30 from Lavezzi.
But you know, when you think about it, right? It's sort of the way, just the fact that afterwards, he would always have the greatest things to say about Napoli, like that he'd never go to Juventus, he'd never go to another Italian team. Mm-hmm. If he's going back to Italy, he's going back to Napoli, which for years and years made us believe, oh my gosh, this guy's going to come back and we're going to kill it. Mm-hmm. But I think that his admiration for the team and his love for the team made me fall in love with him all over again. You know what I mean? And, you know, then you look back with, you know, a little bit of sensibility, right? The sale helped us get Higuain, Mertens, Callejon, Albiol, Pepe Reina, Jorginho. Like these are Koulibaly eventually.
Right.
Like, it's like what Koulibaly said. I don't want to go, but if I have to go and it's going to help Napoli, I'll go. So I feel like going back to 2013, right? 10 years ago, believe it or not, Cavani did that not only to better himself and make some money doing this, but also to better Napoli, because look at what we've done since, right?
Right.
So in my opinion,
saw Napoli springboard from all these little sales.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I struggled with the Cavani Osimhen thing, and then I was like, you know what? Let's just put them together, and then put
why not
behind them
side by side?
Because listen, you've got Insigne, you've got Callejon, you've got Hamsik even to consider.
So many.
You know, you could have thrown Hamsik in there. There were so many great players. You know, you can still think about Politano and Lozano. You know, not for nothing, but Milik scored some pretty cool goals too.
Nah. He's not coming to my top three.
But no, I'm not saying he is. But I'm just saying,
I don't care what he did. He's an asshole. But he's never making the all-time top three. Get out of town, Rafa. Come on.
No, he's not. But
there's so many
there.
more people.
He's there. He's there.
He's like there at the bottom, holding up everybody. That's what he's there doing.
Well, I'm just saying he's an option for someone to
Gonzalo,
if they wanted to.
Right.
You know, and Higuain too. Listen, Higuain, you know, he may be Setanduna, right? But he's also scored Setanduna goals, you know, and he scored a lot of really, really memorable goals for Napoli too. It's just in the manner that he left, and then when the pressure was on, he failed, and in more ways than one. So, you know, but what I'm trying to say is that I couldn't see a team without Edinson Cavani in it. And I asked my kids what they thought, and Rocco actually said Insigne Callejon Mertens.
Love it.
Was his, you know, and that was the year 2016-17 where each of them had double-digit goals. Actually, Hamsik did too, so the four of them had double-digit for 72 to combine for all four ways for 72 goals. That's the most of a Napoli attack. So, you know, Rocco's assessment of his
front three
was really cool. Yeah. Paulie gave his as well. And his was, oh boy, Insigne, Osimhen, and Lozano. You got to remember, Paul's only 9 going into 10. So this is what he knows. You know,
listen,
it's not bad. It's not bad.
This is subjective, man. It doesn't, you know, it has to be what you're happy with. That was the point of this exercise, man. But there it is, folks. We like to know what you think. Please put it in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter. We want to know so we can read it. We'll certainly respond to you. Getting another little extra rant after the show. So let us know in the comments, guys. Thank you, everybody, for participating.
And on Twitter. And on Twitter.
I said Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can find us, guys.
Wherever you can find us, let us know.
I'm going to put on some closing music while we talk about a quick prediction. Rafa, not bad on time, but we got like 3 minutes to talk about.
Yeah. Tomorrow it's 3:00. It's back. It's back after such a long wait. It's back. We we go to Frankfurt. We saw a couple of really tasteless signs from the Frankfurt fans out in the streets. And
who told you to do that, Frankfurt? Huh? Who told you to call us Teroni?
I was really happy with going to Frankfurt and showcasing our skills. Now I'm really happy that we're gonna go there and wipe the floor with them in their own house. I'm gonna say it 3-0 Napoli. 3-0.
5-1.
3-0. Okay, 5-1 Toronto. 5-1. I guess Toronto's saying 5-1.
I'm predicting multi-goal from Victor Osimhen. He missed a few shots last game. He's going back to Germany. I think he'll want to prove something there. And I expect a performance from Osimhen. That's all I can say. I'm not going to predict the score, but I think 3-1, more or less, something like that. I don't think we're gonna zip them. I don't think we're gonna zip them at home, but I think we can bring the game to them for sure.
No, I think we're gonna get a nice, comfortable lead going into leg 2, where we could kind of take it maybe a little easy on them and focus on Serie A there, because we have Lazio and Atalanta at home. Nonetheless, we have them before that game. So, I see a big Napoli win here. I really do. And the lineup, he's starting everybody that, he's starting the real, like the starting 11.
Real deal, yeah.
Starting
I think he will.
Yeah.
I think we'll see Rui. I think we'll see Zielinski tomorrow.
Yeah. Now listen, not that you can underestimate Eintracht Frankfurt. They're 5th place in Germany, or 6th place in Germany, but they're only 5 points off the top, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, that race in Germany is really tight. It's like
race.
Off by a few points each. Yeah,
it's pretty exciting. I actually went on a show today, Ralph. This is breaking news to you. I was on a show called Twin Sports, I think it was called.
All right.
Two gentlemen by the name of Ahmad and Ali asked me on very last minute, and I went on with them and talked a lot about what is to come for tomorrow. The show's coming out tomorrow. So look for our Twitter. We'll retweet whatever they tweet out soon. But yeah, the show is called Twins Sports or something like that. Which I think is cool.
Check it out. Twin Sports. Didn't know. I gotta see it. I'm gonna watch it.
There you go. Twins Ball Daily. That's what it's called on YouTube. At Twins Ball Daily. Check it out. It's two twins, two brothers, Ahmad and Ali Hussein. They live in London or England somewhere, but one's a Liverpool fan, one's a United fan, and they couldn't wait to have me on to talk Napoli. So it was pretty fun. Check it out.
Definitely check out Nima's podcast, Tying Football podcast. This episode, both Vincenzo Patillo and I laid a little comment about some recent events that we saw, kind of pictures and things, and possibly some discrimination, all that.
Some not nice things.
Nice things, but check it out. But yeah, super excited for tomorrow, guys. Thank you again, Rafa. Great show as always. Thank you to everybody in the chat as well as the audio listeners. Looking forward to coming back next Monday and talking about a great victory, huh, Rafa?
Yeah, talking about a couple great victories, because we have the game tomorrow, and then we have the meet, the Empoli-Napoli meet, La Luna, Nutley, New Jersey, this Saturday. Match starts at 12 o'clock Eastern, but try to get there like 11:30. I'll be there. And then you have 3 days left for the Napoli Club, Tri-State Napoli Club merch drop. Long sleeve t-shirt or short sleeve t-shirt. Go get it. Get it while
it's hot, guys. Thank you again for all the support. Until then, Forza Napoli sempre, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.